This is the story of the Fire of Warsaw. In August of 1944, the Nazis were in their final death throes. They'd lost the war, but they were still dangerous. So when teenage courier Kristina stumbled upon a group of armed rebels hiding in the sewers, she didn't hesitate to join them. Cut off and surrounded by the enemy, Kristina and the other couriers had to hide in the sewers, emerging only when the coast was clear to make their deliveries. She was just 17 years old, but already a veteran of the resistance, delivering messages for the Polish Home Army since she was 12. Her job was simple: deliver these packages to the addresses written on the labels. But what those packages contained and why they were being delivered in the dead of night was not her concern. Food and water were scarce and the nights were freezing cold, but she survived. And when the Soviets finally entered the city, she emerged from the rubble, emaciated but alive. As the Germans retreated from the advancing Soviets, the city became a battleground. She helped dig out survivors from the rubble, and together they rebuilt their city. Entire neighborhoods were burned to the ground, leaving thousands homeless and hiding in the rubble. So Kristina and the others took to the ruins, moving from building to building, floor to floor, carrying messages of hope in a dying city. When the Germans overran the city, they set fire to most of it before they left. But the packages still had to be delivered. One day, Kristina was separated from her group and forced to hide in a bombed-out building for weeks. She had lost almost all of her family during the war, but in the ruins, she found a new kind of family, the family of man. They had survived the war and they had each other. But I think it's important to remember that they weren't just statistics or stories. They were real people with names and faces who did ordinary things like eat and sleep and dream, just like you and me. Warsaw was in ruins, but the Poles were not broken. And that's the story of the Fire of Warsaw. Now we tell stories about incredible people who have survived wars and somehow managed to rebuild their lives. If you want to learn more about the people who lived through wars, there is a link in the description below to a website where you can find personal stories and photos from people who lived through incredible events. So click on the link and discover what life was really like during wartime. That's all for now. See you next time.